Welcome back, all my loyal patriots. Today we have another video from Gripped Media, and this is actually one of their biggest videos ever of all time on their channel, and that'll just show you, the amount of people that actually resonated with this story. It was unbelievable. Okay, so this is family in debt after legal battle with their local council. So a little bit of a background to this video. This couple here has a couple of kids. I'm not exactly sure where they were living again, but they're living somewhere in the country, and on their own property they decided to build a house because they couldn't get a mortgage and they couldn't build their own house, okay, a regular size house, right? Because it would cost like 300,000, 600,000 euro. All right, house prices are insane in Ireland, and obviously we have a massive housing crisis as well. So this guy, got a good idea to build sort of a log cabin, okay, which would only cost about 50,000 is my estimate, right? And anyway, the council then decided to hit him and sue him, saying, no, you're not allowed to do that without planning permission, etc., etc. If I was ever in government, I would do it by a case-by-case basis, all right? I would absolutely let this guy build a log cabin. A log cabin is amazing, you know what I mean? And building regular houses, those days are over, okay? People don't have money like that anymore, okay? Especially in nowadays Ireland, unless you have a massive job or something, it's going to be very tough for you to actually build a house. For this guy, it was a great idea, but unfortunately they told him to take down the house. And look, you guys can see it in the background, super sad. I wish he left the house up, but they said that you're gonna go to jail, well, prison, okay, if you don't take down the house. So he did take it down, guys, unfortunately. Hopefully, they got a GoFundMe or something for this guy now. So yeah, go support him. But let's listen to what they say now.
Here with Brendan and Evelina McDonough, who have lost their home to an order by South Dublin County Council. Brendan, can you tell us what's happened since we met you last in November? I believe at that stage you were hoping to make an appeal to the High Court?
I was, but it was over Christmas period and the time wasn't with us. A lot of solicitors were on annual leave, and they still were up till the day before we got back into court, so I couldn't even get legal representation.
Jeez. And the house, might I say so myself, is a beautiful log cabin. I mean, that is a beautiful... You can actually buy, for those I've looked into it, okay, because, we all know my living situation, but you can actually buy log cabins for like 50,000 with running water, heating. Like, they're really nice log cabins. Sanitation, you can buy really nice log cabins in Ireland and just place them in like a backyard or whatever. But unfortunately the council are assholes, okay, and they don't let you do that without lots of planning permission. Actually, I forgot, guys, to put my hat on, because we were at war, okay? We all know what I'm talking about when I say that. All right, let's get it, guys.
Basically, I was either go to prison or take the house down, and Evelina's anxiety was just going through the roof, and it wasn't worth doing this any further.
That's scandalous.
We did put in a hell of a fight, but it wasn't good enough. And then, we tried our best to everything with the council over the years to try and have something, to try and comply to everything they wanted us to do to get a permission sorted, but everything was just a constant refusal. So we're stuck now. This is it. This is the end game. We have nothing. They didn't care. There's nothing about with the safety of children or anything. There's nothing. That doesn't come into the factor. Take your house down, but we don't have anything for you we don't have anywhere to go. You have nowhere to go with your family.
So that's horrendous. So I think he was also on sort of a housing scheme, all right, where you could kind of get a free house from the government. But who wants to get a free house from? So I don't want to get anything free from the government, really, guys. I mean, it's not in my nature. I'm a man. I want to earn everything. And for him to build his own house, I mean, it just makes logical sense. I mean, it's unbelievable. That's a great idea. This is a great guy. And I would actually, not only would I not tell this guy to remove his house if I was the president or Taoiseach or whatever, I would actually praise him and say more people in Ireland need to be like this guy. And use your innovation rather than just maybe taking housing from the government. I would say, the HAP scheme, which I know, of course, a lot of people need. Of course, I'm not saying anything against that, but I would actually praise him and put him on the main news and say, more people need to be like this guy, innovative. Actually build your own house. I mean, this is a phenomenal, this is a great, smart, creative, dynamic guy. That's what I would say on the news, not put him down and threaten him with prison time. I mean, what? Lads, this is just a crazy country we live in.
I don't know how they can get away with this. Like, if you've done this to an animal, there'll be prosecutions. But it's okay to do it to a family. A newlywed family. Actually, we were only 3 months married and we were made homeless. And then only for a friend of ours put us up in his home, we wouldn't have anywhere to go, and our kids would see a different light to this world. So we're trying to protect them from that.
And the last time we were speaking, you told me that it was 8 years ago that you first approached South Dublin County Council in need of housing. Is that correct?
It is. Like, we didn't just build a log cabin because this is what we wanted to do. Nobody sets out to live in a log cabin. With the price of property and price of rent, it's unaffordable for a working class family. It's just well unaffordable.
True.
And we went.
I think they said in Dublin the average house prices is 600,000. I think nationally is 335,000. I want to say is the number. So pretty astronomical numbers. And I read an article from, I think this was mainstream, Virgin Media or something. They said that you need to be earning 128,000 combined salary, you and your spouse, or your partner, whatever you guys are into. You and your partner need to be earning 130,000 to get a mortgage for a house that's worth 330,000 or something like that. So that is a crazy salary that most people don't have. Combined.
Went to the council over 8 years ago, to put our name on a housing list. We were told we didn't qualify for that because I was just earning over the odds, which was roughly around €600 a week. So that was €600 a week. You're supposed to pay £2,000 a month rent.
Those numbers don't add up. That's insane. €600 a week. You're supposed to pay £2,000 in rent. Like what? Retirement.
But they failed us on that, and then we said, can we apply for some sort of help scheme to help us rent? We didn't fit the criteria for that either.
What?
So basically, I'm left with a young child with nowhere to live and refused from the authorities. That's when I decided to build this.
But if you come from Eastern Europe and you kill someone, you can live here for 10 years beforehand. Before you kill somebody, I'm making reference, of course, to the murder of Ashton Murphy. But they give houses to people like this guy who has 2 sexual offences in his home country of Slovakia, this Romanian gypsy guy, but they give him a free house, free accommodation, free dole, free everything. He can just sit on the couch and get free money for the last 10 years. But an Irish man, a citizenship, which, guys, your citizenship should mean something, I know a lot of people don't like to say that I'm Irish or whatever, but your citizenship, this beautiful thing right here, guys, let me tell you, right? This should mean something, you know what I mean? And I'd show you my actual on it, but I don't want to be showing you guys any of my... Anyways, that's me, guys. That should mean something. You know what I mean? And nowadays, it doesn't in Ireland. It doesn't all. If you're in another country, if you live in the UAE, for instance, Dubai, if you're a citizen, they give you housing, they give you money. This is what they should do for the citizens of your country. It actually means something to have a citizenship. But for Ireland, for some reason, this passport, not really worth a curse, guys, honestly.
We stretched everything we had to get into this, and after that then they come after us for 8 years. No free legal aid for the last 8 years. It was an absolute drain on our financials.
What?
8 years ago.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we're here now 8 years later after fighting umpty, and I can't think about how many times we've been in that bidding court over the last 8 years, and then I'm expected to pay my legal team, their legal team as well. And even the judge looking for 5,000 off me, it's sort of like trun me to say that you took everything from us. You took our home. You don't care. There's no accommodation for the kids. The council have nothing to offer me, but you want me to pay you to destroy me as well.
That is just insane. This is the most insane story I've ever heard. But I'm sure this isn't an isolated case. I'm sure this is happening quite a lot in this country, And they're doing it on purpose. One of the comments I got from my channel was, when you realize that they're doing it on purpose, you get awoke to what's going on. That's the most powerful comment I've ever heard in my life,
Just on that, you mean the judge sought South Dublin County Council's legal fees? That was around $5,000.
Yeah, South Dublin's legal fees were over 5,000 for this time, and the judge dropped it to €2,000 because of our situation, which I think it shouldn't have been anything at all, since they left us with penniless, with no home and no security for our family or for our kids or anything.
That's crazy.
And just to do that to people at this day and age, while you house 4 corners of the earth here, they come here with nothing and they live a better life within 3 to 6 months than people that's lived here all their lives.
And Evelina,
that's what I'm talking about, guys. 3 to 6 months you live here, they give you flipping housing, they give you this, and then the people that have lived here your whole life, you're a citizen of the country, you're born and raised here, they don't give a shit about that. That should mean something, guys. If you have a citizenship, that should mean something. This country's a joke, man.
You told me off camera that you haven't brought your little son and daughter up yet. How are you coping with this?
Well, I haven't brought them here, and I don't think I will soon, because they will be heartbroken to see their little home being just gone. It's just, even I can't even look at that in the back. It's just so heartbreaking moment, and I just feel burnt out completely at this point. There is no chance and no hope that I'm gonna dedicate in this situation anymore my energy. I think it's just time to move on and just leave it behind me, because I can't do it anymore.
I know that, from people writing into us at Gript and from stories that we hear, that there are a lot of people living in houses and cabins like this who are not able to secure conventional housing, many of whom it's for the same reason as you've stated yourselves. But what would you say to people who are in a similar situation as your family?
Well, I hope there's not many out there, people in that situation, because I wouldn't wish anybody to be in a situation like that. But I don't know. To be honest with you, like, you have hope in a certain, up to some moment, and then it's just, everything is just gone, like, because you seems to be going in circles, and I don't know what I would actually advise people in a situation like that, because it looks like there's no help whatsoever. Nobody really wants to care about.
I think a lot of people agree, like, if you're not getting a ton of help from the state, I mean, it's one thing, but for the state to come to you and say you're not allowed to build on your own property, this is his own land for centuries, like, his family's land or whatever, that's one thing to not get a ton of help from the government. That's okay. Some people do need that, absolutely. But for the government to actively come in and say you are not allowed to build here on your own property, I mean, this is just atrocious. This is literally the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. One of the worst things ever in the country. It's horrendous in terms of, legalities over housing. Like, this is a joke.
People anymore, like, so that's the world we're living in.
And Brendan, you told me that having the cabin taken down cost quite a lot of money. How much did it cost?
The final figure obviously is not in yet. We have to pay the lads that took it down. I think it's 6,000 or 7,000, but then you have skips. Then we're still not finished. There's a lot here to be done. There's storage to be done then as well.
Oh.
We have to find somewhere to put that, or else we can sell it quick enough. And look at it. It's not very advertising there now. It's just seems like a lot of money was spent and wasted and no zero outcome. And I didn't do this for any other reason. Wasn't doing it for profit. I wasn't building it to rent it. We were building it to survive. That's all anyone can do in this country now, survive. When your average house price is going from 300 to 500,000 for a house, like, and then you're only allowed to borrow from the bank at a certain rate of 4 times your income. There's no houses going for 120 to 160, 170,000. Yeah. They're realistic prices. The prices now are just like you nearly want to become a millionaire to buy a house now. And yeah,
it feels like that, guys. Like, I don't know. Like, I was watching a program today. I think it was on News Talk again. They said that most houses, most mortgages start off from gifts from their family, from their parents. So whether they start with the down payment of 60,000, 50, 60,000, he said 9 out of 10 mortgages in Ireland from young lenders is a gift from their parents of 40, 50, 60,000 euro. So unless you guys have rich parents, good luck. I wasn't born with rich parents, so that's why I started YouTube, started to do that sort of thing. But Jesus, man, this is crazy. This is absolutely atrocious, man. Who the hell can afford a flipping 600,000 euro house on a flipping wage that's nowhere near that? I mean, it's crazy, and they're not giving out mortgages for that either. So, and who wants to be on a mortgage for 40 years anyway? I mean, that's crazy. That's like you're just tied to the state then.
And investment firms come in from all over the world, and they can just invest in this and jack all our prices up for rent, which exceed our incomes.
That's true. They do jack up all the prices. These investment firms. It's crazy.
That's no way for a country to live. We're just waiting on a crash, really.
And maybe it's a stupid question, but what's next for you?
We don't know. There's we haven't got a clue. We're still looking for a place to live as a family, to be able to put this behind us and settle us. 8 years was an awful long time to have this hanging over our head. Our kids have been through enough. I've been through enough. Evelina's been through enough. We just need to move on. We just can't keep doing this, And there's a cousin of mine set me up. I just found out this morning. She set up a GoFundMe page. I don't know anything about it. She just said it to me, but I don't even know what that'll just help pay for this, to get this put back to the way it was, and maybe give us a bit of breathing space so we can finally just relax for a couple of months, and please God we get something decent that we can.
Yeah, so I think the GoFundMe must be in the description here. Okay, Gript didn't put it in their description, but yeah, they have a GoFundMe as well. I'm not sure how I could link that in the video, but for anyone that actually has the GoFundMe link in the comments right there. and go support them, guys. Go donate to that, because this is just unbelievable.
Can just be a family and stop getting them letters through the door constantly of threats, because they have endless resources to keep sending you letters and keep giving you court dates. They have a pot of money that won't go down because it's our money, it's taxpayers' money being used against you, and I can't even get free legal aid to give it a good fair fight, you know? So
that's crazy.
And obviously the cabin has been dismantled, but the remains of it are still here. Is the council satisfied with this now, or are you to get this away as well?
Oh, I'd imagine I'd have to get this away as well. Sure, whoever reported me would be looking to say this is. I think this would be more of an eyesore than what was already here, but this would all have to go regardless.
Because this is land your family owns.
Yes, this is our family land, but that doesn't seem to matter there. We're not safe anywhere like nowadays. You know, if the government cannot seem to provide, and I had to provide on my own back, which I didn't mind doing. I stretched myself no matter what way I could to provide something that they couldn't do. Then they come and take it from me, and then leave me with nothing again 8 years later. It's like, who are this? Who is this establishment? What did you think they can do this to people, to families? No, you know, you can't do this to kids. You can't do. We didn't want to do this, but we had no alternative, and they still don't have an alternative. You know, and there's housing lists here. There's people on housing lists in Ireland, 10, 20 years. And there's people come into this country in the last 3 years and they've all jumped and skipped. So there is no housing list. It's not like a housing.
It's true. It's a housing scheme, guys. It's not a list, because a list would be like where they go in linear order and they take people that have been on the list for such a long time. But this is more like preferential treatment for people, for certain people, than others not. Like, it's crazy.
Skip. It's like, where you're from, okay, you get the house before someone else. There is nothing fair, nothing makes sense anymore, especially here, especially when it comes to authorities. It's more power they get, the more they abuse it. Fatima, we'd just like to thank everybody that sent their kind messages and all the support that we got through the lovely people of Ireland, like saying that they were going to, you know, they're behind me, they're watching the story. Thank you very much to everybody. Thanks very much to all my close family, relatives. That's all supported myself and Evelina, and thanks very much to yourselves, Gripped, because other than this would have never seen daylight.
I'll tell you what, he's correct on that. Virgin Media, RT, News Talk would never shed light on a story like this, guys. They're not for the people, okay? They're for clicks and for views.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a million.
Alright, guys, shout out to Gripped as well. Yeah, unbelievable, man. I mean, just unbelievable story. That's a crazy story that I heard of last year, and then, like, they're just not fixing anything. They're just throwing them in the shit. It's just, like, unbelievable. That, I mean, people are just scumbags, you know. A lot of people, they want to see people, you know, with nothing, and then they want to take more from them. Just see, they were saying the judge charged them €5,000 for something. It's just crazy, man. If you should be able to build on your own property, or at least have like a case by case situation, you know. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys want to support me. Links in the description for my Patreon. I have loads more blocked videos over there as well. Man, I mean, it's just, that's a disgrace, man. This place is getting worse as worse. I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Stay free.